now we are in Gettysburg. We're going to check out the battlefield here. And it's massive, so this could take a while. We're already looking at the cemetery over here. So let's go over here and check it out. See. So I kind of had a different idea of what this place looked like, and pardon the wind, because it is very windy out here. Not that it's good or bad, but just a different idea. In the cemetery, there's a lot of really old tombstones, of course. Some of them have sunken into the ground. So you can hardly read any of these tombstones. But so I'm assuming these are grave markers of soldiers, maybe, I don't know. And I got one here that's a marker for Civil War marker. Maybe not, because here's one that died in 1879. So maybe these are soldiers that lived but didn't die in the battle. It's really hard to read a lot of them. Here's one here. It says 75 years old. Died May 1882. Oh, because it says Jonathan. I think it's Jonathan Johnston, colored, died May 11th, 1882, age 75. So I'm assuming he was a soldier, colored soldier, according to what they're saying. That is how they said it back then. So here's one you can read. Elizabeth Bollinger, died 1879. So these are probably people that were involved in the war somehow. They just lived to tell the tale, so to speak. There's a lot of tombstones here, and there's a lot of markers. And here's one, Peter Riley, 1881. And then there's a Daniel Shanner, 1878. So yeah, there's a lot of markers here. And I'm assuming that's what this is. If you know for sure and I'm wrong, then let me know. But for now, that's what I'm assuming. Not all soldiers, because here's one that died age 30. No, it died March 30th, 1882, age 40. And there's a lot of tombstones that are sunk into the ground or broken off, so very interesting. Here's one, Mary Bollinger, 1892 or 1913, died age 92. Bigeman died 1913, age 60. Here's one that died 1912. Hoffman. And there's one over there that says unknown on it, which is weird. There's one that says Mike Sullivan R&R, and that's all there is. But it's just very strange because it's got like, there's an unknown grave right here. And here's a Snyder, unknown man, which is odd. 1913, 1911, age 49. A lot of these people died around the same year. I'm having a hard time understanding why that is. 1911. But anyway, here's a whole lot of there's some memorials up there. I'm going to go check those out too. It seems like I keep seeing a lot of these soldiers here. The Army of the Potomac. It's supposed to be like the badasses of the day. And there's a lot of stories on them, how tough they were. I see them in Antietam and everything, so it's interesting. It says they arrived at Gettysburg on July 1st about 11 a.m., advanced and took position 2 sections at Barlow Knoll, which is where we are, I guess. The left section detached near Almshouse, which is down there, I guess. Engaged Confederate infantry and artillery on the right and the left. Lieutenant Wilson fell early, mortally wounded, and command devolved on Lieutenant Bancroft. The sections were compelled to change positions several times, retired about 4 p.m. One section would lead a section of Battery 1, 1st Ohio on Baltimore Street, and covering the retreat. About 5 p.m. took position on Cemetery Hill. Moved to the rear cemetery facing Baltimore Pike. Of course, you can read the rest if you can see it. Ammunition expended 1,400 rounds. 31 horses killed. So I guess that's why the cannons are pointed out in that direction. So there's a lot of this is called Barlow Knoll. Carried into action 24th officers, 545 men killed and died. Wounds. Officers, 40 men wounded, 7 officers captured or missing, 46 men. Total losses, 211. I don't know what this stuff is in the brush, but I can't imagine trying to take this hill. Can you imagine them coming up this hill? You're fighting to come up this hill and take these cannons. You get up at the top of this hill and then there's cannons in your face. What are the odds that you're going to survive that? Not something I would want to do. But you know, if you're persistent and determined enough, you'll do it. For your men and your land and your families and your, you know, everyone else, you'll do it. That's what it takes. That's what they did. So according to what I just read, there are 5,200 men along this line that were fighting, and they were chased back to town because they couldn't hold this hill. They came here twice and got beat back to town, which is that way. And here's an interesting story I just heard. This guy got hit with a musket ball in his spine, came out of the spine, and was paralyzed. This guy and a bunch of other men saved him. He was in charge. Brigadier General Francis Barlow. He had to take over because this guy over here got hurt, so he had to take over. And they brought him to a tree where they thought he had died. Gordon took him to a tree and took over the company because he thought he had died, so, or was going to die. So he put him in the tree because he was paralyzed, couldn't move. Somewhere along here. And years later, when Gordon became senator, he found out that there was a General Barlow going to the same luncheon or dinner, and found out it was the same guy and didn't know he survived. Both of them thought that each one of them had died, so they became friends because Gordon thought Barlow died, and Barton thought Gordon died. So, and they met each other again years later, and they became friends. It's really odd because, you know, a guy's got a musket ball going through his spine in the 1860s and you're paralyzed, you know. pretty much done for, I guess. But obviously not. Survived it.
Hey everybody, don't forget to check out Reverse 96 FM on TuneIn, Streema, and now InternetRadio.com.